Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Beamer & Son Garage. You're all welcome back. Except for the crybabies out there, you're not welcome. We had another crybaby on our year in review video. I can't believe it. I mean, I don't know. Does Mr. Obvious need to come back again? Yeah, let me let me let you talk to Mr. Obvious, okay? It's only obvious, okay? Mr. Obvious is saying this, okay? That this guy doesn't like to sell cars here, okay? He collects them, okay? I'm a car collector, okay? And Mr. Obvious says, well, then it's only obvious that he won't sell them, okay? Now, we had a heckler, what do you want to call him, crybaby, on our channel on the last video on the year in review of 2022 that said, oh, you're one of those guys that probably would sell your car, but you'd want too much for it. And you're one of those guys that want the car to sit in the yard and rot. Well, you know what? That's your opinion, okay, buddy? And I've asked you guys, if you got a shitty-ass comment, you want to be a shithead, keep it to yourself, okay? Go to Uncle Tony and complain on his channel, because you don't want it here, okay? It's only obvious. Mr. Obvious says, we don't want you, okay? God. And yeah, that grinds my gears. That's what grinds my gears. I'm back and grinding my gears. God, that grinds my gears. No, you couldn't buy it if you had $1 million. Because it's not for sale. I don't sell cars, guys. I don't do it, okay? I buy them. I collect them. We play with them here on the YouTube channel. For my patrons that watch and the people that watch my channel, you know what we do here. We like to take things old, fix it up a little bit, get it running, and play with it. We're not into the show and go. We're not into the show, okay? We're into the go, okay? We give shit less what it looks like. I mean, you can look around and see. We don't care about shiny paint and shiny chrome. We don't care about that. We're into the patina look, okay? We don't care if it's, shining and gleaming like a diamond in a goat's butt. We don't care, okay? So, if you got a bad comment, take it somewhere else. Go to Uncle Tony's Garage, okay? Uncle Tony's Garage. Go to his channel and cry, okay? Because we don't want to hear it here at Beamer & Son Garage. You're an idiot if you're going to come to my channel and leave a comment because then I know who you are. I got your YouTube channel, the name of your channel, who you are. I got you. I know who you are. I'm not going to say who it was. One of my patrons said, don't do that. And I used to do that. I used to tell them, oh, it's, so-and-so is, his channel, I don't, I really think it should be done. They should be called out on it, okay? That's how I feel. But one of my friends, one of my patrons one of my subscribers doesn't like it. And I'm going to go with him on that, okay? So, the 69 Mach, you can't buy it, okay? You don't have enough money, okay? If you got $1 million, it's still enough money because it's not for sale. God damn, people. All right, that's enough of what grinds my gears and Mr. Obvious. Here's what we're doing today, guys. We're going to work on Christeen, and we're going to put the lock back into the car. That's what we're doing. So hold on. We're going to put you on our apparatus, hook you up here. And here's the lock. And the key. So, there we go. I'm going to angle you up. See what we're doing. Here's the equipment we're going to be putting in here. Be nice if I found them keys in the floorboard of Christeen, because they were in the floorboard of this car. I know where they were at. Pretty sure I left them in the floor. There's the window crank back together. We're gonna go over here and get our fancy pool ladder that we like so much around here. And we're gonna stand up on it and try to give you guys a view of what we're gonna try to do. So there's a clip right here, and it goes, you know, like that, you know. And we're going to put the lock in the door like this. Hope you guys can see that. And we're going to come over here. We're going to stand up on the ladder. I think. I think we're going to stand up on the ladder and try to give you guys a bird's eye view of what we're doing. If I can get my feet situated here. It's a little harder than I thought it was going to be on this ladder. There we go. Okay, so the lock's in the door. And then we're going to try to put this and lock it into place. And I'm not having any luck, so. And I want to put it in there because there's a hole in the door. And I don't like that. I don't like a hole in my door. No. No. I don't see the rod either. Oh, there it is. There's the rod. Yeah. Okay. There's that. And then we're going to try to put the rod on. You guys can't see, I'm sorry. And there's nothing I can do about you guys seeing. I don't have another guy here to film this. Which my son would be the other guy, and he's at work, so. Happy New Year, everybody. There it is. Okay, so what we did was we slipped the lock in, okay? So we slid it in with the keys, of course. Then we went inside here and we put the clip on it. So there's the clip. Then we put the rod on it. And poof, it's done. So hopefully it won't shut and stay locked on me. Let's see here. Bingo. Okay, it shuts and opens and does everything it's supposed to do. So the next thing we're going to be to put the door panel on and the door handle. But that'll be for the next video. We're not going to do that on this one. It's just, I mean, we could, but these little clips have all popped out. Maybe broke one here and broke one there. We're going to pull all them out, put them back in the door panel. It's a pain in the butt. That'll be for the next video. We're not going to. But there we go. So we got the lock in there. And but it was a losing situation. We should have went to my friend Don and had him cut a key to fit that lock, and then we'd have had a key to fit the ignition. And we've had a lot of people say, well, why don't you go to the door on the other side and get the lock out? Well, the whole door was changed on this car. This car belonged to a guy that was out of Mount Healthy. And you can see the whole door is different. And this lock is different too. This lock fit a 1970 fastback I had. And so it's a totally different door, totally different lock. And this car was belonged to a guy out of Mount Healthy. And he was Kenny Bernstein's head mechanic on the famous Budweiser Kings Indy car. Kenny Bernstein was pretty cool. He had numerous race cars going. He had race teams going, and he had a NASCAR. He had a top fuel dragster. He even had a top fuel funny car when he was into the funnies. And then he had a Indy race car. The guy that owned this car was his head mechanic on his Indy race car. And he lived in Mount Healthy, Ohio. And he had this car, and his vision was to make it into some kind of dirt tracker. So he had the door on the other side. He had cut it all out to accept the NASCAR roll cage to roll inside the door. And you put, like, windows and, plastic, Linux windows or whatever you put them in, and they're plexiglass windows. So he cut that door out. So when I got the car, it didn't have the door lock. It didn't have, none of the guts to the door was completely gone. And the car was completely gutted. The only thing it had was the transmission and the rear end and drive shaft. Had no engine. It was a 351 Cleveland 2-barrel car originally. When I ran the VIN number, found out what it was. So it was really nothing special. Somebody put Boss stripes on it. Those aren't the original. You can tell they're bogus. You can look and see what looks like somebody cut them out of. It looks like somebody cut them out of a stencil or something. They're not ever. Actually, it was a regular stripe, and they cut this here, and then they made that say Boss. So it's not a Boss car. It never was. I never claimed to be a Boss car. It's still a cool car. It's a 70 fastback. Now, I put a Mach 1 gas cap on it off of a Mach 1 that I had parts. I used to have 4, 5, 6 of these different cars. I had a lot of these fastbacks and Machs. And, excuse me, I had one Mach, this 69, 70 body style. And I still have it. So I, kind of cobbled together with pieces I had. It had these fiberglass quarter panels on it when I bought the car. And they're $700 a piece. And they cut the wheel wells out. They didn't finish it. They half-assed everything. And I bought the car that way. And it had no engine, no wiring, no dash. I mean, it was completely gutted. Christeen was just a shell of a car when I bought it. And it still had that 4-speed in it. And it had the original knob off of a 69 Mach. And somebody stole it. And I bought another one. And I'm going to put it on if I can find it. It's somewhere in the basement. In a bag that's closed. So I was going to try to put it back to its former glory. At least when I had it was the former glory. Anyway, so that's the history of Christeen. That's some of the history of the car. Where the car came from when I bought it. It belonged to Kenny Bernstein's head mechanic on Kenny Bernstein's Indy race car. So that's where she came from. And a buddy of mine, actually numerous buddies of mine, I had 3 friends of mine, helped me get this car. One guy was Richard Crocker, a real famous friend of mine, owns a junkyard. He had the tow truck. I didn't have the white truck. I didn't even have a tow truck at that time. I didn't have a rollback. I didn't have nothing, And so I called Richard in, and I had Johnny Morehouse, and Johnny brought his cousin in, another Morehouse. We had 3 guys helping. There was like 4, 5, 6 truckloads of parts. That was weird. Something's moving over there. Might have been a cat. I don't know. Something. And we hauled all these truckloads of parts in this car back to Cincinnati, back to my mom and dad's house. And Crocker looked at this car. It was completely gutted. And he's a junk man. And he said, Beamer, he says, you just bought a car you'll never fix. I said, what did you say to me? He said, I told you what I just said. I'll say it again. You just bought a car you'll never fix. I said, well, thank you for telling me that, because now you've motivated me to fix this car. And I labored on this car for a month. And I took like 3 or 4. I had 4 other cars just like this. So I had 3 other cars just like this. And I had dash, and I had wiring, I had an engine, I had a lot of parts. I put this car together in a month. I drove it down to my friend's junkyard and pulled into the junkyard and jumped out and said, there you go. There's the car you said I'd never fix. And I was there for more than one reason. I wasn't there just to show off and rub it in his face. I had a problem with the car. And Richard's an old Ford mechanic. He's an old mechanic from way back. He worked on Fords and Mustangs and Falcons, and he's worked on everything, Chevrolet. He's worked on everything under the sun. And I had no headlights. And there was a ground strap, and it goes, a little piece of wire that was grounded, and I didn't have it grounded, and it grounded on the radiator support. And he walked up to it. He said, what's the problem with it? I said, I ain't got no headlights. I want to drive the car, you know, night, day. I want to, you know, daily driver. I want headlights. So he walked up to it, saw the ground wasn't hooked up, and he instantly, the wire was cut. And the wiring harness that had that little ground strap was cut off of it. And he found a wire that wasn't hooked up. He put a little butt connector, a wire loom wire on it, little end, and put a screw in there, and bam, I had headlights. So yeah, I wasn't just down there showing off or down there trying to rub it in my friend's face. No, I had a problem. I come to see my friend, and he helped me. And that's what you do. You help your friends. You know, yesterday I was out on New Year's Eve, and I went over Grove Street OG's house. The great OG, the original gangster, Grove Street himself, called the old beam up, and he needed some help. And I went over there, and we got a dishwasher, unhooked one, and we had a house that they're moving out of. And we took the stove and the microwave and the dishwasher out of this house, loaded it up, took it to his new house. And, well, it's not his new house. Took it to his house. And see his wife or something, ex-wife or something's house. We moved all that stuff out of, and he's getting it. So we took it to his house, and we put in the stove, and he's going to use the dishwasher for a later time. And he's getting a refrigerator too, and I think he's giving me his old refrigerator, which I need a refrigerator. My refrigerator's bad. And I've been limping by for a long time with a bad refrigerator. A couple of small ones I put together, I found and had and bought and given to me. That's how I'm making it right now, keeping my food cold. And that's the problem if you ain't got a good refrigerator and your food goes bad, guys. Make sure you got a good refrigerator. Mr. Obvious, it says it's only obvious if you got a bad refrigerator. Get rid of it. Get you a good refrigerator. Don't keep your food in it. Your food will spoil. You go bad, you get food poisoning, and you'll die. You might not die, but you'll get sick. It happened to me. So, that's it, guys. We got the door lock in, Christine. We got something productive done. It's not that bad out. It's actually beautiful out right now. It's just kind of gloomy. It rained off and on yesterday. And that's it, guys. So if you got a bitch, you got a complaint, go to Uncle Tony, complain to him. None of my cars are for sale, okay? For no amount of money. I don't care how much money you got. You can't buy Christine. You can't buy the Mach. You can't buy the Hearst. You can't buy Eleanor here. You can't buy anything I have. It's not for sale. I'm a car collector. We collect them, and we keep them, and we play with them. Now, you know, the Roadrunner now, of course, you know, it's not to say that I might not do some trading now. You know, if you got something to trade, you know, and you got a pretty sweet deal that maybe I might come out to the better, I might do some trading. Maybe. Very, very, very unlikely that somebody's going to come off with a good enough trade to where I feel that I'm coming out good. Because all these cars, you know, I was telling you about Christine, they all have a story. And, you know, behind the story is, you know, some sentimental stuff. With that one, my buddy, you know, I just told you about my buddy, said I couldn't fix it. I fixed it. You know, he's probably one of my best friends, Richard Crocker. He's definitely one of my best friends. There's no doubt about it. He is my friend. Look at that cat. Old Matt. Old Matt's sitting on a go-kart. She found a good place to sit. But my cars aren't for sale. So get a clue, okay? And if they're sitting in the yard, well, that's because I haven't, you know, find a better place for them, and I ain't got gravel, and I don't have a lot of money, okay? All my money's tied up in these cars. So I'll do something with them. Obviously, I'm right now, we're under the weather right now, this snow and rain and As soon as the weather dries up, we'll be moving around. We're going to get some money together. We're going to put some gravel down. And then some of you guys can quit crying. It's only obvious that I don't want them in the grass either. Dumbasses. That's it, guys. So check out my friend's Actions Auto Parts. Jamie Phillips, he's a cool guy. Jamie don't complain about my car sitting in grass. Do you, Jamie? No. Jamie's cool. See my friend Actions Auto Parts and Scott Speed Shop. Jedediah. Check out his channel. And we'll see you on the next Beamer & Son Garage, guys. Man, that car is badass. Christeen. Yeah, winning. Bye-bye.